Hey guys, so I am in a different room today because I am at my grandma's house, but hey, I'm still gonna make a video for y'all because it's me. Anyways, I don't know what I'm naming this video, but let's get into it. Okay, so around, I want to say like September-ish last year, I worked at a restaurant and I was a host. That was a very interesting job. Very interesting job. Okay, so anyone can tell you like a host is probably one of the worst jobs you can get because you also, I mean, I'm sure it's not the worst job you can get, but it's probably the worst job you can get in the food industry because you have to deal with like you have to deal with people telling you, getting mad when you double seat them, and then you have to deal with people that get mad at the wait time. It's not worth it. So if you want to go into like getting your first job, I do not recommend trying to be a host because yeah, just don't do it. That's what I did and now I regret it. But anyway, I'm going to talk about some of my experience as being a host. And okay, so one of the experiences I can remember is, this was like, I think it was my second shift working there. And the manager, she was still like watching me, like making sure I was doing everything okay. So this couple comes in and so they're like, hey, can I get a table? I was like, yeah, sure. So I told them there's a weight limit because it was a Saturday, and so everyone knows that works in food industries that Saturday is the busiest day ever, really. So I was like, yeah, it'll be about 10 or 15 minutes. So finally I called their name, and so I was already set on getting them a booth in the back or whatever. And so I walked over to the booth to sit them down. And then so as I was walking over there, one of my employees, he comes over, he was actually a server. And he was like, hey, don't sit them there because I'm about to sit this other couple here. But my manager, I forgot to say, my manager actually told me to sit them there. I was like, oh, okay, well, just tell Miss C, that's what I'll name her. Just tell Miss C, because she told me to sit them right here. And then he was like, oh, okay. And so I ended up sitting them there. She told me just go ahead and sit them there. So I sat them down. I was doing what my manager told me to do. So I walked back over there, and I was talking to my manager for a while. Then this lady comes up to us. She was like,
you just gave away our table. That is so rude. She's like, where's your manager? That is so disrespectful. You gave away our table.
And so my manager is just sitting there. She's like, hey, I'm the manager. What's going on? She goes, that lady, like she was like pointing in my face. I was like, okay, I was like, ma'am, I was doing what my manager told me to do. She was like,
she gave away our table.
And so my manager's like, actually, no, I told her to sit them at that table.
No, because I saw that young man tell her that was our table.
And she goes, oh, well, he didn't tell me. She's like, he needs to tell me before anything. So she was basically trying to explain to her that she told me to sit that other couple right there. And so she had and so the man, she basically was saying that the server was in the wrong because he didn't tell her that he was gonna sit them right there. I know this sounds confusing, but I'm trying to like explain it the best way possible. So the server that was gonna sit the woman down over there, the woman that was now yelling at me and my manager, he walked over there and he was like, yeah, I was gonna sit them there. You're a little late to the party. Then my manager, she's like, yeah, well, you didn't tell me. And so she was like, okay, well, we'll find you guys another place to sit. And then so the lady, she walks away. She's like angrily walking away. She keeps looking at me, like giving me these stares. I'm just, come on, when you work in food, you get used to it, really. There's always gonna be these unsatisfied customers. Come on now. So she kept giving me glares, but eventually I sat her down at another booth. And so she was like, thank you. You're welcome. So I walked back to the host stand, and then so I continued doing my job for a while. And then so the lady's friend, because she had another woman with her, so the lady's friend came up there, and so she was like,
do we get free appetizers or something for this bad experience?
And that's what I knew, like, you know, some people, they always come to a restaurant just to get free food. And so my manager, she was like, okay, we'll give you free appetizers, no problem. She goes,
thank you.
And she walks away. So they basically got free appetizers, and they stayed there. I'm not even kidding. They stayed there for a whole 2 hours. 2 hours. You know, only thing they ate was appetizers. Who takes 2 hours to eat appetizers? No, I don't think so. But anyways, yeah, so that's how it ended the night. Every time I would walk by them, they would give me looks, but I mean, you kind of have to brush that off your shoulder. I mean, it happens. When you're dealing with like customer service and stuff, it's gonna happen. But that was one of my stories, and yeah. Okay, so I was actually working as a host. This is the same job as the previous story I just told, and I would say I was about 3 months into the job, and this is around the time I was about to quit. But so I was being the host or whatever and doing my job, and then I hear like over there, like there's like a table that's right next to the host stand, and so they basically got their food, because I was like, you know, when you're a host, you get pretty bored, especially when this was a slow day, so nothing was really going on. I think it was like Sunday or something, but I don't know, it was really slow that day. So I see that the table over there, they got their food, they started eating it, and then like halfway through their food, halfway through their food, they call for the manager. Like, they call me over there. I'm like, hey, yeah, what's up? They're like, hey, can we get a manager over here? It's like, no problem. So I call my manager over to their table, and so I'm like, I'm being nosy. I'm trying to see what's going on. So I'm listening to the conversation, and the manager's like, hey, what's going on? And so she was like, yeah, so I really didn't like my food. So can I get like another one, or can I get this for free? So guys, I kid you not, half of the food was gone. Half of it was gone. If you don't like your food, why'd you eat it? Like, you ate half of it. And then she was trying to get it free for everyone at her table. So my manager, he's super nice. Like, he is super nice. So he ended up giving her, like, the whole meal free. And so she was just taking her bags and everything. She's like, thank you, thank you. You know, you always get those people that try to get free food. And my manager, he was a little too nice. He was too nice, because I would not have given them free food. When you ate half of it, Okay, you could have sent it back and got a new one. No, she wanted that free food. She was fighting for that free food. She was fighting for it. This actually happened 2 weeks into me working at this restaurant. This is the same place. I'm just gonna make this whole video about the same restaurant. But this was 2 weeks into me working at this restaurant. And so, you know, I was doing my job, hosting. But actually this night we were super busy, so they started asking me to serve, and that's fine, but I was the only one at the host stand, so I don't know who was watching it. So I was serving and I was doing the host stand. So I feel like that was a little unfair, but I mean, it's whatever. So I couldn't really serve food because I've never done it before, so they just had me like start the people off with drinks. So I would get them drinks, but at the time I was 17, so I couldn't like serve them alcoholic beverages. But as I was serving, a woman walks up to me and she goes,
hey, the restaurant's flooded.
I was like, the restroom's flooded? I was like, because I just recently checked the restroom like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's flooded. You should check it out.
I was like, okay, which restroom? She tells me the girls' restroom. So I walk to the girls' restroom and there's water everywhere. And someone like clogged the drain, because there was like a drainage like on the floor of the restroom, so if ever there was like a flood, it can just go straight down. But someone clogged that with paper towels, and they clogged the faucet with paper towels, so like water was just going over the faucets were running. And then my thing is like, I know I get it's not her responsibility or anything, but I mean, if you see like the restroom's flooded and like the water's just running, wouldn't you like want to turn it off? Like, she just left the water running. She could have turned it off, but I mean, I get it. It's not her responsibility. It's fine. But anyways, so I call my manager. I'm like, hey, so the restroom's flooded. So she came over there, and so she was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, because it was literally water everywhere, guys. So we had to remove the paper towels. Trust me, I put them latex gloves on because I was not playing. I wasn't. But I put the gloves on, and we like took the paper towel off the drains, And then we had to like get like this little broom thingy to swish the water in the drain. But the water was so bad that it was like leaking out the door. And so people were like stepping over a pond. This was bad, but I'm pretty sure it was just some kid. Like just some kid trying to play around and had nothing better to do. These parents need to control your kids. This is why you should go to the restroom when your kid needs to go to the restroom. You need to go in there with them. You never know what's going to happen. But anyways, so that happened. It took us about 30 minutes to get that water down the drain and eventually close to clean. But yeah, then eventually we went back to our jobs. The manager, she was like such a stickler about things being clean. And I'm the same way. Like I'm a germaphobe too. But so like whenever I had to clean the windows and everything, and this will make me so mad because it'll be like it'll be time for me to go. Like my shift is ending and it's like I'm ready to clock out. And then so I cleaned the windows and everything, and so my manager, she had to come and check before I left. So she'd come and check. Like literally I'll go and clean the windows and I'll go get my manager so she can check. Me and my manager will come back, and like the time that it took me to go get my manager, someone let their kid put a handprint on the window. That made me so mad. I'm like, I just want to go home, little kid. I smell like cheese fries. I want to go home. I want to take a shower. I want to eat, and I want to sleep. And you put your nasty fingerprints on the glass. But it's okay. So I would clean out the little handprint. Then she would let me go. But so what I started doing is I would start opening the door for people, because you know they're like, no, I can open it. Let me open it and put my... No, I'll open it for you, ma'am. Come right ahead. Yeah, go right ahead. Go, yeah, okay. Because, you know, I didn't have time for that. I was not about to clean people's handprints every 2 seconds. Okay, I have things to do. Like, go home. I could not stand this manager, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so whenever someone would ask for the manager, I would go to her. I'm gonna call her, she was really young, like she was around 23. I'm gonna say it, she was around 23. So whenever I go get this manager, we're gonna call her S. Okay, so whenever I would go get manager S, I would try to go get her, and so I was like, hey, there's a customer that needs to talk to you. She asked me, why? Well, what do you mean? If a customer needs to talk to you, you should go. She goes, well, you need to tell me why the customer needs to talk to me, because I'm not going in there blindsided. Okay, that's fine, but now you're putting me in the middle of this, and you're letting the customer's gonna yell at me now, because their customer's already upset. If I go back and say, hey, the manager wants to know why, that's gonna irritate someone, let's be honest, and it has in the past. So there was this one time we were super busy, and this lady, she kept coming to me. She was like, hey, I need to speak to your manager. I asked that employee back there to go get the manager, and she still hasn't came. I was like, okay, no problem. I will get the manager for you. I go back. I was like, hey, manager S, there's an employee that wants to talk to you. I mean, not an employee. There's a customer that wants to talk to you. And she's like, well, I'm really busy right now. Why do they need to talk to me? I was like, okay, I'll go figure it out, I guess. And so I go back. I'm like, okay, the manager wants to know why you need to talk to her, so that irritated her right there. And honestly, that would irritate me too, to be honest. So she was like, for bad service? She was not happy. So I was like, okay, I'll go tell her. See, I go back, I'm like, oh, almost said her name, almost. So I go back, I'm like, manager S, she wants to talk to you because she has bad service. She goes, oh, I'm not gonna be out anytime soon. I'm really busy right now. Well, what do you want me to tell her? Because it seems like she really wants to talk to you. She goes, well, I can't right now. I'm really busy. You never tell an employee, you never tell a customer that. You never do that. And like, maybe because she was young, but I mean, that's just common sense though. You don't tell a customer that. That's how you lose business, to be honest. So I go back to her, I try to talk to her. I'm like, yeah, she said it's gonna be a minute because she's kind of busy. She's like, no, you get her out here now. And you know, that puts me in a really bad position because I was minding my business. I really was. I was working, trying to get that coin, okay? I was minding my business. And now I'm put in the middle of this. And so it literally took us like 45 minutes, me and another server, it took us 45 minutes going back and forth trying to get this lady out here. Finally, she went out there, and so her and the customer, they went at it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They went at it. So they were arguing for a while, but I think eventually they came to like a agreement, and so the manager S, ended up letting her have her meal off free. I don't know what the problem was, like what the customer was why do I keep calling him employee? Anyways, I don't know what the customer like had a problem with, but I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. Like, you're still supposed to go. That's just common sense. So, yeah. Okay guys, that's going to conclude this video, and if you guys want me to make more videos about my crazy stories at the workplace, then just let me know, because I definitely do have more. Definitely. But yeah, just let me know in the comments, or thumbs this video up and subscribe.